Hello, my sweet friend. It's Christina, and welcome to a new episode of the Art Cake Coach podcast. Hello, my sweet friend. I am Christina Revalo, cake decorator, coach, and teacher, and I am here to empower my fellow cake artists to be creative and to work together as a tight cake community by providing information and opportunities for all, regardless of their level of expertise and knowledge. If you are a cake artist, cake decorator, baker, or cake enthusiast and want to be coached for success, this podcast is for you. Let me help you set achievable goals, understand that managing your time, having a positive mindset, understanding your customer, selling, using social media for your cake business, and knowing how to teach your craft are all as important as flour, sugar, and eggs. Let me share with you what has worked for me, all from a very personal and down-to-earth perspective. I want for you to put your name out there, not to be stressed with time and working hours, and to participate in cake collaborations and competitions, so one day you will be that cake artist featured in a cake magazine or teaching at international events, just like me. Welcome to the Art Cake Coach podcast. Well, hello, my sweet friends, and welcome to another episode of the Art Cake Coach podcast. Christina here. I'm super happy to have you here again. Another Tuesday morning here in my studio, talking to you and bringing for you the best that I can and the best that I want to share with you so your cake business and your life as a cake artist will be easier, more organized, more successful, and more productive. Today, I'm going to be talking about something that we hear this word so many times, and I have done other episodes about it, but still there's always something new that we can share about this, and it's about procrastination. I think procrastination is the biggest issue we as humans face that prevents us from completing a task, that prevents us from that prevents us from keeping up with the schedule, that's better said, that prevents us to go according to our plannings and achieve goals. And the thing is, we can talk about many ways of not procrastinating. We can talk about many ways of avoiding procrastinating. But until we face procrastination in the face, we will never understand how to really tackle it. So I came across an information that, because I try to keep myself informed, I try to keep myself up to date with everything that's going on in the coaching world and self-improvement and all of the things that I could share with you. And I came across this information. I really liked it because it was said that procrastination, at the end of the day, is just a fear. And when you see it like that, when you see it as something that you need to face, a fear that you need to face, you understand that procrastination is actually a response to a fear of not knowing how to do something, a fear of the outcome, a fear of the process, a fear of the response of the outcome, a fear of judgment. It can be a fear of many things. So we as humans, we usually respond in two ways. We face things or we run away from them. And procrastination is a very modern way of running away from the things that we have to face. We all procrastinate. I'm not going to say that it's just, I don't procrastinate. I'm the queen of not procrastinating. We all procrastinate in a way or another because there are things that you just don't want to face. You just don't want to do it. Because, like I said, it could be a fear of the outcome per se, or it could be a fear of the process of doing it, or it could be a fear of judgment about the result of whatever you're doing. And every day we have more and more distractions that will take us away from the path of just facing our fears. And that, I think that makes procrastination a bigger issue than it actually is. The thing is, according to what I read and to what I learned lately, if you face it as a fear, if you face it as something you need to tackle, it takes away the importance of the procrastination. Because what happens is people label themselves as, I am a procrastinator, so that's what I do. Oh, I procrastinate too much. That's the issue. I mean, my issue is procrastination. Why don't you, like, for example, you have a goal set, you have a schedule set, or you have a goal that you want to achieve, and you excuse yourself with the say that, oh, I procrastinate. I haven't done it because I'm such a procrastinator, but I'll work on it. I promise. What you need to work is not on the schedule, and it's not on the work, on the goal. What you need to work on is on the procrastination per se. So, how do we tackle fears? When we, in the past, in other times of this humanity, we either run from them or we attack them, right? There was a tiger or a beast or an animal wanted to eat us. We either attack the animal or we run away from the animal. There's a third one though, freezing. And procrastination, it's a way of freezing. It's a way of either I'm not running away from it because I mean, you kind of are running away from it, but at the same time you're freezing and you just choose not to do anything about it. If I don't think about it, if I don't do anything, it's just going to go away. And sorry, that's not the way it works with to-dos, with goals, with schedules, with tasks, with cakes to do, with customers to call, with materials to buy. It's not because you don't look at them and you don't think about them that they're going to go away. Either way, you will have to face them at some point. Now, what I like to do when I feel that I'm stuck or I'm afraid, if you could say. Afraid is because I choose not to face it. Because, that feeling in the stomach, I really don't want to call the client. Or, I didn't really want to go do this piece for this collaboration. Or, that's not really the way that I want to do this cake. But I'm afraid to talk to the customer. So I just, I'll just don't think about it and just leave it to the last minute when I have to do it. What I do is first of all, I keep a schedule that for me, my schedule and my goals are to be done. And second, I sit down and I write down. When I feel like that, I write down, why am I feeling like that? What is the worst thing? This is a question that I ask myself. What is the worst thing that can happen if I do this? And what is the best thing that can happen if I do this? When I put everything in writing, you realize that it's not that a big deal. Maybe I was afraid of making the call because I felt that the client was going to reject me. What is the worst thing that can happen if the client rejects you? You look for another client, right? Maybe that was not for you. That was not meant for you. Maybe it was a cake that was going to be too challenging, or the client was going to be annoying and was not going to pay enough for that cake. But I sit down and write down every single thing that I think can go wrong and every single thing that I think can go right. Even, for example, there are cakes and projects that I don't feel too confident about, and I tend to get in my head. And what I do is I plan the cake, I plan everything, and I sit down, and when I feel afraid, I just sit down and write down everything that can go right and everything that can go wrong, instead of procrastinating and just not thinking about it. And usually the conclusion is the same. All of the list of the things that can go wrong are actually fixable. And all of the things on the list that can go right are actually good and achievable. So why don't you just do it? the next step that I take is to break that into little steps and just focus in the next step. Instead of thinking, oh, I have to have this cake ready for next week, and but first I need to, when you start getting in your head like, oh, but I need to buy the materials, and I need to buy the ingredients, and I need to open a space in my fridge, because if I don't have enough space in my fridge, then I won't be able to fit the cakes in there. But what if somebody needs the fridge? What if the fridge breaks down? You start overthinking, and that's freezing, and that's procrastinating in a way. Instead of going that way, or thinking, what if the structure doesn't hold? What if this, if I go to the store and I want to buy this specific dowels for the structure and they don't have the dowel, what happens if, I tend to do that. So what do? I just break everything into steps and just focus on the next step. Okay, first, you need to go to the store and buy all the things that you need for the cake. That's it. Don't think if they're going to have it, if they're not going to have it, if it's enough. No, just do it. You get to the store. And if you get to the store and they don't have any of the materials or utensils that you needed, then you fix that. Then you find the solution for that, but not before. Once I have all my materials, okay, what is the next step? I need to focus on ingredients. I'm going to buy my ingredients and going to have everything ready. So I have all my ingredients ready. I just focus on this. I'm not focusing, what if the cake doesn't rise? What if I forget? No, I just focus on the next step and just do it. And just like that, when you realize, if you focus on the next step and you just keep doing it, things are done. I am absolutely thrilled to announce a new sponsor of the RK Coach podcast. We are now working together with Cake the Great magazine. Cake the Great magazine is a quarterly international magazine, and it's an open platform for all levels of sugar artists around the world. We will showcase your talent, skills, update sugar, world news, and more. You can have the next issue, and you can already have the March issue of 2023 in the links that I will be leaving here in this episode, and stay tuned for the next issue to come. Thank you so much to my sweet dear friend Tasnuta Allen, award-winning cake decorator and editor of this magazine. And thank you to Cake the Great magazine for being one of the sponsors, and welcome to the family of the Art Cake Coach podcast. So, my sweet friends, why stopping out of fear instead of just trusting in the little step that is going to bring you closer to your final product or to the resolution of whatever is that you are putting away and you're procrastinating about? And that brings me to the other part, is see the final outcome as a goal. When you see the final outcome as a goal and you remind yourself of that goal, because it's different when you see something as a result, as a product, as a finished product, than as a goal. When you put the word goal in it, it's like you look forward for it. It's something that you really want to achieve. So think of the final product of whatever you're putting away and whatever you're procrastinating on. Think of that product as a goal, and think of all the positives that goal can bring to your cake business, to you, to your family, to your, to your cake community, whoever is involved and will benefit from that result. Don't think only of yourself. Think bigger, because when we think bigger and think of others, when we involve others, then it's not just us, it's harder to procrastinate, because it's not just up to me. The result is going to benefit others as well. And also, think about consequences of not achieving that goal. So if I do not sell this cake to this client, or if this client is not satisfied with this cake because it was so much in my head that I procrastinated and didn't do things correctly, which ends up being my fault, what am I going to get if that happens? Probably a complaint. Client is going to ask me for its money back, bad review, bad references. You're going to, that is all the consequences of not taking the correct action or not taking action in every little step. But on the other hand, if I do take action, if I achieve this goal, I'm going to have a happy customer. That could be a repeated customer. That could be that is going to bring in money for my business. That money is going to translate in money for my family and money for myself. I can make my business grow. I can buy the things that I need. All of that because of just taking the little step and stop procrastinating. As your cake coach, I am here to help you. If you want to go a little bit further in your journey to organize your time, set clear goals, maybe teach, work on your mindset, or set a roadmap for results, especially for results and success, I am here for you. Why don't you book a free discovery call with me? I will be leaving the links here in this episode so we can chat, we can talk about what you really need, and we can see if we're a good fit for each other. Remember, I have just one mission in this cake world. First is to unite the cake community as one and to make you, my cake artist, my sweet friend, understand the importance of investing in you. Like I said, I will be leaving the links here in the description of this episode so you can book a 30 minutes free discovery call with me. And just remember, in case nobody said this to you today, I do appreciate you and I want you to stay safe and stay creative. So, my sweet friends, if I could sum up all of the tips that I have shared for you here today about procrastination, if you see it as a fear, it's a response. It's not a response. Like I said, there are 3 responses. I'm not making this up. It's scientifically proved, and it's been here since we were cave people. We either run, we either face our fears, or we paralyze. So procrastination is just another way of paralyzing or running away. So if I could sum up, like I said at the beginning, first of all, make a list of all your fears. What are you fear of? What are you afraid of? Are you afraid of, let's say, the customer's feedback? Why are you afraid of that? Is it a fear of judgment? Is it a fear of failure? And when you find that true fear, just change the narrative into a positive sentence. For example, I'm afraid of failure. I don't want to feel like a failure. Okay, so change that narrative to I'm a capable cake artist. I'm a strong and capable cake artist. I can achieve anything that comes my way. And just repeat it yourself that as a mantra. Just repeat that sentence as a mantra and you will change that perspective. But first you have to find out what the fear is about. Make a list of all of the things you have to do, break it into steps, and just focus on the step in front of you instead of focusing on the big picture. Start worrying, paralyzing, and procrastinating. Change your outcome from a result into a goal, because when you change it into a goal, you change the energy around it and you really see it as something that you want to achieve instead of something that you want to be done with. Let the consequences of inaction, of not doing it, sink in. Think of all the consequences that could happen if you don't finish this project, if you don't sell that cake, if your customer is not satisfied. So let all those consequences sink in and make it into your strongest motivation. If I don't sell that cake, I won't be able to, make enough money to pay for something that I really need to pay for, or to buy something that I really need to buy for. So my motivation is I'm going to do this cake the best way that I can, or this project, or I'm going to talk to this customer, I'm going to call this customer, and I'm going to do my best because my motivation is this one. Challenge yourself to do what you would do if you weren't scared. When you fear your fears, when you face your fears and you see them in the face, it's like, okay, you're my fear. So what do I do with you now? Okay, let's play that I don't know you, that I don't have you. What would it be like? How would you feel about that? And you know what? Now that you are clear on what you're afraid of, and now that you know how it would feel to get where you're trying to get or to do what you're trying to do, just go for it. Don't regret it. Just go for it. So if you're procrastinating, I know it sounds like a big deal. And we think, oh, Christina, come on, I just bake cakes. What is all of this? You know what it is. We all procrastinate in a way or another. So now that you are in front of that fear, you know what it is, you know why it is, but you know that there is a goal, you know there is a motivation, and you know what you will miss out if you don't do it. Why not doing it? Simple as that. As simple as doing that wedding cake that you're afraid of. Like me, honestly, I dread wedding cakes, but if I have to do it, I will face it and I won't procrastinate on it, because I know it's just a fear that I need to overcome. And you know what happens when you overcome it? You gain confidence, you gain results, you prove to yourself that you can do it, and you apply that to other parts of your life. So this was a little bit more insight on procrastination. We all talk about it and we think, oh, no, that's just for other people. That's just not for me. We all procrastinate in a way or another. I've heard this so much in the cake groups, and I really hope that this different insight about procrastination can help you today as a cake artist. And with this, my friend, I say goodbye, as I always say goodbye. Stay safe and stay creative. See you next time. My sweet friend, if you liked this episode, if you love this podcast, I will kindly ask you to leave me a started review, whatever you're listening to this episode. That is available on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and I think a couple of other ones. But in any of those, just leave me a review. Leave me a couple of stars or 5 stars if you like it. So people will find this episode, the algorithm will put it out there, and more of our cake community will benefit from it. Share it with your friends. Download the episode and share them. Share them on your social media and tag me, because I will answer you back. Of course I will. And send me comments, send me your review, send me your feedback. Even if you don't agree with anything that I say, I would love to hear your opinion. You can find me in any of my social media accounts. I will be leaving the links here on this episode description. I'm on Facebook as The Art Cake Experience. I am on Instagram at Christina_The Art Cake Experience. Or you can even find me on YouTube, my YouTube channel, The Art Cake Experience channel. So thank you so much for listening. And please leave me your review and leave me your comments and your feedback. I would love to hear what you have to say about any of this episode.